Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Rose Tarot and Astrology. I am your host, Mel Rose, and today is Wednesday, October 2, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for spending this time with me. And thank you for checking in on your regular current astrology. As you know, as above, so below, if we can get a clue as to what kind of energies are at play on a universal level, well, we are part of the universe, so we know what kind of energies are at play in our life. And if we can get a little heads up, a little forewarning about boundaries and limitations that might come up, or surprises, or just opportunities to persevere, then that gives us what we need to navigate a little more peacefully going forward. So thank you for being here with me for that. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you are feeling happy and well and loved and blessed and whole and supported. I, here in Lee's Summit, Missouri, am feeling very happy and well and loved and blessed and whole and supported. And I'm so grateful to be alive on this cold autumn morning. I've got the windows shut because it's a little extra chilly out, but I'm grateful for it nonetheless. And before we get started, hey, give me a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know that you're watching. Send a comment or put a comment down below. Let me know like what your sun sign is or where you're tuning in from, or just say hello to me so I can say hello back to you. I love to hear from you all. Okay, so getting into today's astrology. The sun is in Libra. The moon is in Libra. Mercury is in Libra. And there's one we don't talk about very often. It's an asteroid called Black Moon Lilith, is also in Libra. And they're all sitting right around, hovering right around the South Node, which is in Libra. The South Node is one of the places where eclipses happen. So we're going to have a solar eclipse today. It will not be visible except in parts of South America. So it's really more that eclipse vibe, but it's the last eclipse of this year. It is the last eclipse in Libra for many, many years to come. That first eclipse in Libra was last October, right around when that October 7th attack happened. And the world really began to see a lot more conflict. So I'm hoping that these are bookends, those Libra eclipses. I'm hoping to find a bookend with this eclipse and maybe some resolution or resolve to some of these conflicts. We'll see what happens, right? So with the sun and moon conjunct today in Libra at the South Node, like I said, there's going to be an eclipse. And that eclipse at the South Node is all about what's going out the back, what is getting behind us, okay? So things that are leaving us, things that are falling away, things that we've decided to put behind us, to no longer keep around us or stay engaged in. Those things are falling behind us, and it's time to just let them go, to release it, okay? This week, I'm having a garage sale. I think I've told you guys I've been sorting through my garage and my stuff, especially while we were in Virgo season, and now we're going to have a garage sale. This is the perfect time to do it because it's just about getting rid of the clutter, getting rid of anything that is taking up space, not just in terms of stuff and things, but in terms of thoughts, attitudes, dispositions, anything that isn't working for you anymore, or anything that really has served its purpose or never did. Maybe it never served a purpose, or maybe it did, but now it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. It's okay to just say goodbye and let it go. Take it down to Goodwill, sell it out of the garage, whatever it is that you have to do, okay? This is the time to be releasing. It's the time. And, I think Channy said something interesting. She said something about, just letting things go. It's not about forgetting things, okay? It's not about, it's not about, like pretending that things that happened didn't happen or stuff like that. It's really about releasing from us things that no longer work for us. So I just want to make that point. Venus and Mars are both in water signs. Venus is in Scorpio and Mars is in Cancer. So our relational ways of being with one another are a little emotional, a little bit watery. Mars can, our sense of assertiveness, our sense of wanting to be direct and get things done can feel a little bit frustrated when it's in Cancer, but it might actually help us, help us slow our roll and navigate our relationships with other people a little bit. The other part of what's happening right now and today is with all these planets in Libra, we are paying attention very much to our relationships. And those are our most private and intimate relationships, or our most public relationships. It's everywhere from, your clients and your civic partners and your socializing partners, all the way to your most intimate relationships with like friends and family or your partner. Okay. So when the sun is in Libra, especially when the sun and moon and Mercury are all in Libra, it's really about striking that balance in those relationships, making sure I'm giving as good as I get. Sometimes I check a relationship and I find that I'm giving a lot more than I that I think I'm getting. I'm not getting the reciprocity that I thought that I was going to get from this situation. Okay, so at that point, I have to sort of pull back and give a little bit less, and maybe have a conversation. It's a good time to be having conversations, advocating for ourselves, negotiating on our own behalf to strike that fairness, have fairness and balance in our relationships. And then sometimes I look at a relationship and I find, wow, this person's been showing up a lot and doing a lot of stuff. And I feel like I've been giving the bare minimum. I'm not showing up the way I said that I would, or I'm not reciprocating, as well as I think that I should. And so that's an opportunity for me to step up, or again, to have a conversation and renegotiate the balance in that relationship. We just want to feel like everybody's getting a fair shake in these relationships. Not, am I getting what I want, but am I giving as good as I get? Okay, so that's Libra. And with this eclipse happening on the South Node, and with the South Node being in Libra, it gives me this indication that when we're looking to strike a balance in these relationships, it's about what we can pull back. Okay, what we can take off the scale, what we can do to lighten things up. I lighten the load a little bit. Okay, just to let some things go, put some stuff behind us, and make a fresh start. Right. Especially with those negotiations, with a conversation, you can often make a fresh start. Okay, so that's what's happening today. And then on Thursday, tomorrow, Mercury is going to be in an adjustment energy with Saturn. That can be a little bit struggly and frustrating. We're going to, it's sort of like, here are your boundaries and limitations. Here are your responsibilities. And here are your plans. And your plans and your conversations, your collaborations, they might have to be updated. They might have to change a little bit to get to the goal, right? Okay, so just a little bit of adjustment, a little bit of a willingness, again, to negotiate, a little bit of a willingness to change the plan a little bit, to be inclusive, and to make sure that everybody gets what they need from the situation, right? And then on Friday, we have this beautiful Venus trine Saturn. Venus trine Saturn in water signs. So it's emotional. It's about what we like, love, and can't get enough of. And it's also about the stability that we seek in our life, the stuff that we like to have, and the work we're willing to do to get it. But Venus doesn't work. Venus, Venus has a different kind of working, whereas Mars works by being assertive and taking action and going forward. Venus works by drawing in. It works by attracting. It says, come to me, my sweet. I will make it good for you over here, okay? So Venus and Saturn in this trine together really just says, it's a really good time to make practical progress on those relationships, to have those conversations, and to have them go really well. And it's not just Friday, it's in the days approaching Friday and the days following Friday, but especially on Friday, it's a great time to really be noticing those relationships that we have to others, to ourselves, to the things that we like, love, and can't get enough of, and how they support us, how they shore us up, how they help us feel as though we're getting what we need, and having gratitude for that. Something really gracious and positive can happen for us. And then coming up on Saturday, Mercury is going to be square to Mars. That's an air and water square. Again, all of the elements on the page right now are air and water. There's really not much else going on. That doesn't mean there are no signs in earth or fire, but the stuff that is in action, the stuff that is really moving right now, is all either in air or water. So, it brings up the idea of the hurricanes to me again. It's the destructive power of air and water. So we want to be careful. We want to lay a little low. We want to be shrewd, right? Ask the right questions, and make our particular plans before we move forward, okay? Because it can be a little bit chaotic out there with the energies. Mercury square to Mars, not necessarily a very happy energy, an opportunity to persevere, right? It's about what kind of progress we want to make and what our plans are, and maybe our plans are not aligned with the progress that we want to make. So again, we're going to have to make some kind of adjustment or some kind of push to get more in the direction of what we're trying to achieve. Then coming up on Tuesday, Venus is going to trine Mars. Okay, so they're both in water signs and they're going to be trine. That's really a lot of grace and blessing in terms of our relatability with other people. In, it's like our receptive principle and our assertive principle just working together in the most harmonious way possible. So there's not really anything that you have to do about it except to be grateful for the good relating that you have in your life, to be grateful for the good things you have going for yourself, and be open to whatever kind of blessings may fall on that day. And then coming up next Wednesday, Jupiter is going to go retrograde. That means it's standing still in the sky. So this is a very good fortune, high opportunity zone of time that we're moving into. And I want you to be aware of that. There are big grand trines on the chart this morning. There are 2 of them. Okay, so even for the feeling of chaos that the eclipse might bring, even for the feeling of danger or tension that the air and water kind of vibrations might bring, even for the sense of loss that we might have, having to let things go out the south node with this eclipse. For all of that, we have really positive things happening in the chart right now, really gracious things happening in the chart, allowing us to sort of see clearly and to plan for and make the progress that we want to make. Maybe not at the speed that we'd like to make it, Mars in Cancer, but definitely to make the progress that we'd like to make, and just a lot of grace and allowing us to imagine and create what our lives are going to be going forward. Now, in addition to it being a solar eclipse, it is also a new moon today, new moon in Libra. So this is our creative resetting point. This is the bottom of the pause at the bottom of the breath, right? We've been pushing things out of our lives. We've been letting go. We're still letting go with this solar eclipse. And then we come to this still point. We come back to ourselves. We notice what it is that we have in terms of our resources, in terms of what we desire, what we're trying to make progress on. And then we can begin again to create our goals for the coming weeks and months, and think about what we're going to do to get them met. So it's the new moon, it's the solar eclipse, it's the south node, letting things go, but it's also, a point at which we stop and we come back to ourselves and become present with ourselves, maybe do some journaling, maybe do some meditation, whatever it is that helps you get back in your body and process what it is that you've been through, so that you can say, this is who I am right now, and this is who I'd like to be going forward, and we can begin again to create what it is we're going to do over the coming couple of weeks. Okay, friends, I think that's all I have to say about it today. We'll be back here on Friday with you to discuss that Venus trine Mars and much, much more. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you all in the next video.